Hello, Mr. Ho here. We are going to do a quick lesson on the systemic circulation of the human heart. So at this point, you have already learned the anatomy of the heart. You know that there are four major chambers of the heart, the muscles that allow for the pumping of blood and the acceptance of blood. We're now going to talk about how blood travels throughout the heart. Okay? When you exercise, you lose your oxygen and blood becomes deoxygenated. Hence, it's bad blood. That blood will travel through to the first site of your chambers, which is your right atrium. And it comes through there through the superior vena cava. There's also an inferior vena cava, but we'll talk about the top portions of the heart. So follow me along as we do this, okay? When blood is traveling into the heart, it is going to be deoxygenated blood. So I'm going to put this as a O2 negative here in blue because it's deoxygenated. Follow me. The blood is going to travel into the human heart through the superior vena cava, okay? The superior vena cava then will send the blood into this next area, which is actually the very first area. This is called the right atrium. The right atrium is the first chamber of the heart in which deoxygenated blood travels into. From that part, it will then travel through what's called the bicuspid valves, or tricuspid valve in this case. And it's going to go to another chamber, which is the opposite of the atrium, because atriums accept blood, and the opposite of that is going to be a ventricle. We'll call this one the right ventricle. The right ventricle accepts the blood, and what it does is it's going to squeeze this blood, and it's going to pump it back out through something called the pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery means away, veins means towards. The pulmonary artery will take the deoxygenated blood and it will bring it to, in this case, the lungs. So let me just write lungs, since I'm running out of room here. It will return it to the lungs. When the lungs receive the deoxygenated blood, what do lungs do? Lungs are important because they're the organ that helps us get oxygen. So it's going back there like a gas station, filling up for more gas, but in this case, we're getting oxygen. So once it gets there, your oxygenation will happen to the blood. Then what happens when we have blood vessels that are rich in blood supply and hemoglobin? It becomes red. So from the lungs, we will enter through the pulmonary veins, which then goes into the third chamber of the heart, known as the left atrium. From the left atrium, this oxygenated blood will travel through the next group of valves, and it will reach the most important chamber of all. This is called the left ventricle, okay? And I don't know if you know this, but you cannot have love without LV. Left ventricle is so important because it is the most thickest, the most contracting part of the heart, responsible for taking the good oxygenated blood, and it pumps it back out, but now it's going to exit the entire heart through the aorta. And once it goes out here, that oxygenated blood, which I'm going to put O positive, O2, why positive? Because it's rich in hemoglobin, rich in blood supply. It'll go to the entire human body after this point, okay? So, there you go. In a nutshell, the easiest, the most basic pattern of blood circulation in a human body. And if you trace this with me, it looks like the letter W. It's coming through the superior vena cava into the right atrium, through the cuspid valves, into the right ventricle. Ventricles pump blood out through the pulmonary artery, going to the lungs. The lungs then give us oxygen, which turns everything red and goes through I'm having a brain fart. And then the lungs is going to bring it through the pulmonary veins into your left atrium. And then the oxygenated blood reaches the most important chamber, the left ventricle, which pumps it all the way out through the aorta into the body. So there you go. If you follow it, it kind of looks like the letter W, okay? Because it's the direction of the actual blood supply. Now, let's keep in mind a quick general overview. Veins and arteries. Veins bring deoxygenated blood to the heart. Arteries take oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. A for away, veins will bring it to. The four chambers, the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and the left ventricle. LV can't have love without LV, left ventricle. Why? It's the most important section of these four. It's the thickest, the most powerful part of your heart. And a lot of people actually have diseases like hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is basically sudden death. Students and children who are in great shape, right, actually have heart attack and they die on the basketball court or running on the field because this is so large that there's not enough space for blood to actually come into this chamber to bring out to the rest of the body. And the person starts passing out and getting fainting spells. So your heart is very important, as you can see. Four very important chambers. The uppers are the atriums. Atrium means it accepts the blood. The bottom ones are called the ventricles. Ventricles pump the blood out to the rest of the body. Okay, let us continue with the next lesson. This is a good review of the systemic circulation of blood flow.